perfectly fine. Like earlier today, I caught that there was an update for my driver, and I quickly, like it was like a couple of hours ago, and I quickly updated the driver so that I wouldn't have this problem of not recording. I'm now recording. Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunkissed, the Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition campaign, featuring all these lovely people who will now intro themselves. Does anyone want to take a drink or try to eat something, or... Vandy!
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Vandy. I was not here last week, but I was here in the chat because everybody else was going to kick butt. And here I was staring at a beautiful man named Castor. Anyway, we're back and I'm excited and I'm very interested in seeing how things are going to be going today. Yeah, hopefully everything goes well. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, excited. Let's do the thing.
Oh yeah. Let's move over to Hydra.
Buongiorno. Nice to be back again. Looking forward to wrapping this up. If it can be wrapped. Who knows? Maybe it will just explode in our face. Or bite our face with one of its many mouths. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it and stuff. I do roleplay things as well, I guess. That's happening. Oh, our season finale-ish is this Friday, 8:15 p.m. GMT. And it's not much of a finale because we carry on again in 2 weeks. So, just chapter 1. Training wheels are off. Now I can kill them. But not going to be a nice gym anymore. I've been far too nice for Warhammer. Not enough bleeding conditions.
Who doesn't love bleeding conditions? You know how on some shows they'll be like, they'll take the last thing someone said and go like, speaking of XXY, Josh, then lead in like that. I was like, you can't do that. You can't say speaking of bleeding conditions.
It's okay. I think my blood is all where it should be, so we're good. Hi, I'm Josh. I am a person who does roleplay on the internet, and I am very excited because season 2 of Stitch of Fate is doing really well. Everyone's really enjoying it. We invented a cat, and now everyone loves the cat. It's called Max Jr. It is a hairless sphinx.
I saw that tweet. There's like a meme tweet about it.
Yeah, it's the Rosa one with the dog. Yeah. And we are soon to have art of it, actually. Like official art, which is ridiculous. It's great. Okay, yeah. Cass has stuff to do today. He is very excited to, yeah, so let's end this nonsense and get to, yeah, okay.
Good job.
I'm going to mute myself.
Carrying on, and next up is, speaking of utter nonsense, I have a choice of 2. Let's go with Tess Aquila. Tess Aquila. God damn it. Josh.
Hi. It's all good. I don't really have anything super exciting to say, except you guys are all awesome. And yeah, my brain's a little fuzzy today, so please forgive me. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happened with Tess in our absence. I'm excited to see what happens next to the group. It's gonna be good.
Not worried about where we left off last episode?
A little bit.
Okay.
Spoopy.
Speaking about being worried where we left off last episode, Tash!
Hi. Yeah, that's a problem for Chrys. I'm Tashnar, though, and I play video games like Subnautica because I'm obsessed with that game. I started Breath Edge because it's Subnautica in space, but also mixed with Prey, and then Portal sassiness. I love it. It's so good. It's like, it's great. Been enjoying that. And yeah, Chrys has got some emotions from last week, but for her it's been like 10 minutes, so She has not processed that yet. It's gonna be good, I think. No, it's not.
Okay. Oh, need to. There we go. So, last week we had the cutting of a head off by Nahari, which was interesting. We had investigation of flesh abominations by Nahari and brother Temsar, where they basically opened a door, looked down, went, no, not really, and then just closed it and went, Cassius, you're up! We had a little bit of a knockdown fight between Langdon, Sheldon Langdon, Chrys, and Eli, which resulted in 2 deaths. The deaths of the other 2. It turns out that Sheldon's quite scary, and Eli is basically a shark. A land shark, who just wanders around in the mud. And, as like my brain is just catching up with what happened last episode as well, because I'm like, he grabbed him from under the ground and then like zoomed him towards your punch.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And there's probably gonna be some Chrys angst after having killed someone for the first time.
Some. It's
Just a bit.
hilarious.
It's okay. You got a companion instead of a puppy. He's just a little shark. So
Oh, he
you got
ditched
an
me,
emotional
though.
support shark.
He ditched Chris though. He was like,
he was totally like, okay, you're not strong, bye, and he just wandered off. So now you know how
You're
it
gonna come
feels,
back to me?
Chris. Now you.
she wasn't that bothered, to be honest.
Yeah, no, she was kind of distracted. I mean, Eli's very, very simple. If you want Eli following you, you just have to do one thing.
Murder.
No, that's not murder. Just be strong and definitive, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, he was never gonna hang out with Chris for very long. So that happened.
Yeah, and then the only other thing really that happened was Tess drooling all over a man at the club, but that was all like like a sidebar thing that happened. But no, Nahari went to investigate the HQ for the old guard. Was a bit creeped out by the house as she stepped into it. Kept going, found a room which was in basic, almost complete darkness. Turns out that Ciamara was in there. Pretty much, aside from Mouse, who's known as Sasha in the Old Guard, Ciamara is the only one of the Old Guard left alive in the territory. There is also
Cyril.
Thank you. There is also Cyril at the party, and of course Alec, who I think we all agree is not really part of the Old Guard and hasn't been for a little while. But there were shadow tentacles, and there were massive eyes that like came out of the wall and started swiveling around and looking at Nahari, and that's where we ended things, with a kind of creepy vibe going on. However, I think just to ease into it a little bit, we are going to go visit Cassius and Alec, because they are heading towards the dentist, right?
Yes. We've got these pointy things and we need them filed down.
Yeah.
Okay, biting my whip. So, how do you propose we catch one of these, or shall we wait for the others?
I think. Oh, and we would be in a the truck at this point,
Right.
just for ease of delivery. The plan is to see how rowdy they get. If I can take control of one, bring it in there, and then get the others to either kill themselves or burn the place down. Either way is fine by me.
Okay. I do not feel I can be of too much assistance, but I can certainly try to lend a hand. Perhaps as more of a distraction.
You put images in their minds.
Depends what they are. I can try. I cannot communicate with creatures the way you can, though, so I can imprint, but not much else. I would like to learn how to talk to them, though.
I can teach you.
That would be greatly appreciated, Cassius. So remind me again, why are we trying to save one of these former citizens?
Threefold proof of what they've done. A way to impress upon everyone the seriousness of what we have saved them from.
See?
And to impress a new friend of mine.
Should have started with the latter. Far more interesting.
Well, she did explode a building for me, so I try and
As she,
at least match that.
marvelous. How the undead court. It is somewhat more explosive, bloody.
Have you ever been in love?
No. Perhaps something close to it, but I feel that ship has sailed. There are other duties to tend to.
There's always time.
Yes, time is something we have. Well, I hope I still have after this evening. Should they look toward me at this grand unveiling and decide to be thorough and lop off my head, I know I would. How will you rally to my defense, dear Cassius?
I'll make sure that anyone trying to harm you finds their way to the floor very quickly.
Consider me thoroughly wooed. But muscle may get us so far, but if they do not trust me, I will find myself in an alley sooner or later, with a piece of wood through my chest, I'm sure. So perhaps a more diplomatic solution.
If no one trusts you, then I'm sorry to say that that's something you're going to have to solve. We can help,
Ooh.
but you're going to have to make people trust you from now on. We've taken that leap, but no one else has yet.
Very fair. Very fair. I do feel there is perhaps work for me to do with regard to this town and the Sabbat, but perhaps that's something to muse over at a later date. A double agent, perhaps. Or perhaps a triple. Maybe you should kill me.
Just say the word.
Let us belay that for now. I do like this truck. It's rustic.
the seats are cushier than I thought they'd be. Let's just hope it holds.
Yes. Failing that, you can always stay in the back and I can drive.
Can't wait.
And I hope the others are doing all right. I have not. Perhaps we should call some birds when we have a moment and survey the surroundings. Make sure nothing's on fire.
I'm saving my energy. This is your area. You should know where to find the birds. So I'm not going to do that for you. But yes, I'd like to know how they're doing.
Very well. I shall work for my keep. Onward to the dentist.
Okay. Yeah, you go through a couple of back roads, like down into the maze, and finally pull up, probably like down the road from the dentist's. You know, one of those little side parky bits that you get in the street sometimes. So yeah. I don't think you got that much info. Just basically job done.
Yep.
Very zug. Tash will get that.
So, what would you have us do next?
Next.
Yes, how shall we approach this puzzle?
Cautiously. We'll take a look first.
Wise. Perhaps we can rattle one end, lure them, and then bag one out the back.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Yes, indeed. I can always try and imprint them via an animal. Perhaps it will be a worthy distraction.
Let's take a
For
look
science.
first.
Let us investigate then.
Now, go inside. Has Nahari left the key anywhere? I'm assuming we see a dead body like slumped on the floor with no head.
Yeah, so when you go in, there's a little bit of a funk smell. As you explore the house, the dentist office, there is a headless body with head on the floor, kind of like slumped in a chair. It's a little bit decayed and rotty, but you know, the smell isn't anything too funky. There is no key, but as you like explore through the house, when you come to the door, which is very obviously a door which you aren't allowed to go through in terms of this is a dentist office, not a dungeon. The door's unlocked, so
Okay. Go in there.
you could open the door. There are the bars, with the again
Okay.
slightly stale, deathy waft comes up from it's kind of like a set of stairs going down, very 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 low lit, like maybe a few open flame sconces or something on the walls down there. You can hear shuffling and a little bit of a gloopy sound, kind of a
Even if it doesn't give me any additional information, I'll just have a little tune in using heightened senses.
okay.
Just mainly for listening. I don't want to smell too much of that.
Okay. Does that give a like mechanical bonus to your?
In truth, I don't actually know.
All right. Well,
Because
give me a wits awareness, and I'll lower the difficulty in my head.
Goodo. Somewhere here is. It's so hard to find awareness because I have no points in it. It doesn't stand out.
Okay.
That's about as good as it gets for me.
Yeah. No, as I said, lower difficulty because heightened senses makes sense to me. You can make out shuffling of multiple feet. How much that? I mean, it may all belong to one thing, as far as you know.
Sure.
But
There are multiple feet down there.
yeah, from what you can tell, there's like 3 or 4 sources maybe, and then the really weird gloopy noise is kind of a bit fainter, implying it's like a bit further away than the rest.
Right. My estimates would be 3 to 4 locations of noise. And the gloopy sound, can you hear that?
And like a weird sticky thing. That sounds too few.
Yes.
Intending on killing everything in the city, you don't take 4 whatevers to do that, surely.
I should have perhaps engaged in more small talk with my former colleagues. I feel very rude all of a sudden, not knowing so much about the business.
Well, can we open this door?
I believe so.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. The bars basically have like a deadbolt along it. Like the actual door itself, the big kind of like metal door, is very clearly the one that's locked and closed and everything, and the bars are just like an added kind of precaution bolted across. So you can unbolt it and then just.
Okay.
This now does mean that there's nothing in between you and whatever's down there. Just FYI.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Would you
Perhaps
like
we
to
should.
come in with me?
Oh, not really, but would it not be safer to beckon one to us? Or beckon one the other side of the room?
Let's try that first. I'm gonna close the gate, bolt it, and then just like knock on the bar. Like clang clang.
Clang clang
See what
clang.
happens.
Alright. So this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, but I need to see how many hear it. So...
We could always try using that gentleman's head as bait. Put him to use.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
He's already dead. I don't feel he's going to object very much.
Give it a go.
And do we throw him head first?
Yes.
Let us see what takes our bait first.
Oh, I remember why. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I was like, I swear that I filled out these character sheets. Why is there nothing there? And I've just remembered that they have NPC stuff, so they're actually on a different page to the usual. So this would be... Right, yeah. Okay. Just because of check. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you hear this kind of like shuffling increase slightly as from the like flickering light that you can see kind of where the stairs stop and it opens up into some type of underground basement room type thing. walking towards you, you see kind of misshapen forms. You know, there's like a shoulder that's kind of down by the hip. The heads, and you can't see them that clearly unless either of you have like dark sight or anything to.
I don't.
Okay. But you can definitely see that not all seems right. You can see like one of their arms appears to be like it stops abruptly and then carries on into kind of like this shining point, almost like a scythe. And then one of the others, their like arms are dragging along the ground with these huge like meaty fists that are like double the size of their head. And they kind of reach the bottom of they reach the bottom of the opening, and the one with the like the blade type thing like looks up, and you just hear and then kind of like a plod as they start to like slowly move up the stairs, both of them.
What the hell have the Smeaty be doing here?
Flesh monsters, Cassius. They
Yeah,
are
that's-
horrific.
It was all academic. This is horrible.
Are you sure you don't want to buy flowers for your lady? Now would be a good time before we wade in a little bit too deep.
No, this is a good way to drive home the message.
Good. All to die.
And like I'm just gonna take it for assumed that the bars are closed and
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we,
yeah.
we reclosed them, yeah.
so the one with like the weird kind of scythe type thing on its arm like clatters against the bars, and then like the arm comes out, and it's like it's like someone took the head of a gardening scythe and just like shoved it into the arm and then like formed flesh around it, so it's kind of like the ends of it are pulsating lightly with like veins and muscle and things like that, and just kind of like the face is all messed up, and the it was a human at some point, and then the other one with the big fists kind of comes in behind it and just kind of also not like pushing against it or anything, but just kind of standing there a bit listlessly. But the one with the blade is close enough to try and reach you and can't really. You hear like some kind of like snapping and twanging as well.
Okay,
And so,
let's try something. I'm going to try and look into the eyes of the one with the scythe and just say, stop. And try and compel it to stop.
Okay.
Shall I roll?
Sure.
Okay.
Is that a rouse check?
This one isn't, no.
Right. It's compel is the single word, like yeah.
Yeah. 3.
Okay. You feel like your compulsion, like powered by your blood, that usually, works its way into people's subconscious, causes them to do things that they don't intend to do. Just kind of run up against a brick wall. In terms of like, as far as you can tell, there's not much thought going on, subconscious or otherwise. You'd need to be a bit more adept with brain things, I would say, to kind of
Brain things. Okay.
I would like to try something far simpler. I'll just get a call out to the creature. Kneel down and obey me. Take heed to your master. Worth a try.
Oh, you're just saying it?
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing vampire, no mumbo jumbo here. I'm just ordering it. He's not expecting this to work, but
Nothing happens. Aside from the one at the front starts like chomping its jaw a little bit, or like its teeth together, just kind of like.
point of curiosity, if you may humor me for a moment. I'm gonna go...
How loud did you say that? Just for my own.
In an authoritative way, so probably loud enough for whatever else to hear it.
Okay.
So.
In that case, you hear a little bit of like schlooping, like louder schlooping, and also some more shuffling. Also, you hear like from the one who has the like blade in his arm, you hear like snapping and twanging, and his arm is like slowly getting a little bit further and closer to you.
Right.
Okay, let's try something much simpler. Let's just treat them at their instincts.
Give one a snack. Lure it to the... Give the head to lure the other to the truck. Put the body inside. Hope it's a very slow eater. Preferably the one without the scythe.
Cassius, can you roll me an intelligence occult, please?
Oof,
Alec,
okay.
you can roll this as well if you desire.
Joe?
Just like as you're looking at these things,
Ah.
trying to. Ooh.
Oof.
You can reroll 3 if you'd like, Cassius. You can reroll 3 to Alec if you would like.
I
Well,
think
that's a 3 for me.
that's a 2 total.
2 total and 3. Okay, Alec, your knowledge and especially doctory things, you're not sure these things are alive in the like grandest sense of the word. They may have working circuitry, let's call it, but the extent of their thought and subconscious thought and choices might be fairly limited at best, if non-existent entirely. Cassius, 2 successes? Yeah, okay. There's probably something you can do. There are probably a few ways you can like test out how autonomous they are, like how much they're able to act on their own gumption and free will and etc. And how much they act on even like impulse.
Yeah.
I have a theory. Well, I would like to hear yours first.
I'm gonna see how they react to fire.
Very nice.
You got a lighter?
Oh, I believe I may have some matches somewhere on me. I hope that I produce a box of matches for lighting cigars, because a gentleman, if ever asked to give someone a light, should they not have a light, they are not a gentleman.
Incidentally, the one with the blade, you hear like a clang and a clatter as its arm falls onto the floor. Like it kind of like snaps and then starts like moving or trying to move, like kind of not flopping and flailing, but you know, just kind of like slithering and inching a little bit. It's still kind of connected by muscles and tendons to the shoulder, but it's like come undone and like fallen on the floor and like, yeah, there's from the shoulder there's like kind of some pulsating and like pushing out of muscle and viscera.
This is somewhat unsettling. Perhaps we should squish this before we continue to monologue?
Yeah, good idea. Cassius puts his foot on the wrist and like starts to drag it away from the
You basically
like
need,
tries to pull it off.
yeah, you'll basically need to get a handful of tendon and just rip it.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me strength, athletics.
Roll?
This wouldn't really be brawl. This would be more athletics in the sense of, you know. Let's have a look here.
Okay. I'll roll.
I mean, if you have anything in the way of like a knife or a.
No.
I don't think you do. Yeah.
No, I
I
don't.
don't think I brought my doctor's stuff, so no hacksaw.
Well, okay. Yeah, let's just roll this and see what happens. That's a 1.
You can re-roll one if you would like, but
No.
I might just pick up something heavy and drop it on top, like a filing box, and just so at least it's got a paperweight on it.
that would be strength athletics as well. Because it's something heavy, you have to pick it up first.
Sure. Something a little more hefty within the room. Oh, that's not the right one.
I would like to just simply quickly draw attention to the fact that, you know, the ladies were doing some pretty intense work,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and these two guys are sitting here and they're like, oh, it's moving. We should probably, I don't know, squish it.
Yeah.
So Cassius keeps
Just
his,
give it like I can't rip it.
Cassius keeps his foot on the arm as it's kind of like twitching and flailing about a little bit, a bit more violently now that it has like not impulse but like outside interaction. Stimulus. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Now that it has stimulus, and then this big kind of like filing cabinet of something just gets dragged over and like dumped on it. Take your foot off, and it's still like moving a little bit, but it's kind of trapped under there now. And incidentally, a third one you can hear starts coming up the.
Well, 3's a crowd.
Yep.
I am curious if I can make them tear each other apart, but
You can't see it, by the way. It's just.
the alternative is they perhaps tear that door apart and we get to stretch our legs and break all sorts of masquerades. Perhaps your plan first. While we think, may I throw them a bone?
Throw things at them, see whether they hate fire. Let's see how this works.
For science.
You hear like a clatter as the third one like hits the one at the fist Mr. Fisty. Like moves into him, and there's like a clatter as they all kind of like clash against it. The one at the front, like the one with the blade, his head goes through the bar, like into the bar slightly, so he's kind of like squished.
I'm going to just throw the severed head of the guard toward it, so it would be like within picking up distance, just to see if they're driven by the need for consuming flesh, because I actually have no idea.
Okay.
So this is the beginnings of the science.
Okay, so a head goes sailing, like, woo, hits the bars,
Yeah.
lands, like, with a squelchy noise, like, yeah, and okay, I'll describe this to you as it's happening, because you won't see it until it happens. You see an arm kind of, like, swing around from the back of these like, squished up, guys. And you are staring down the barrel of two shotgun barrels. As the third one has a shotgun implanted into his arm. And then there's a very loud retort as it fires. You'll gonna probably want to dodge. I would
Oh yeah, I
imagine.
was gonna say, do we have notice? I see.
Yeah, no, like
see-
this isn't like John Wick, like woo.
Sure.
It's more like kind of like what's that? Oh shit.
I think we should take cover.
You wouldn't have time for words aside from oh fuck or like run. But I will.
Yeah, I will attempt to step out the way.
Yeah.
Well done, Shooty. You got one success.
To dodge, athletics dex.
Dex athletics,
Oof.
yes. You can reroll 3. Although I will say a draw goes in your favor, so.
Yeah, if a draw
you-
goes in my favour and there's no bells and whistles afterwards, then I'll stick.
Can I just, for the sake of demeaning these useless dudes a little bit more,
Josh had 1 dice.
Nahari, could you just roll your Dex athletics for me, please?
Or
1 dice and it was a hunger dice.
Out of 2 hunger dice.
There you go. Anyway,
I've got 5 dice. I just can't get any rolls. A shootout.
This
so
is
yeah,
fucking embarrassing.
you both kind of
No one
like,
has to see this though. No one has to know.
If
It's fine.
anyone asks, we were heroes, okay? Like we were just amazing.
Yep.
So what happens is basically the barrel comes over, like lands on the shoulder of the blade one, and there's like a half second where you both like look at each other, grab each other, and then just duck. And you end up like sitting on the floor as like 2 barrels from a shotgun just go boom, and like just pepper the entire wall and area above you.
I wonder if he knows how to reload.
I don't care. I'm done with this. Has the one who had a shotgun fire on his shoulder noticed that?
No.
Fuck's sake. I am going to make it more of a problem for him. I'm going to make these 3 try and kick the shit out of each other.
Okay.
I'm going to try and spark some rage in them.
And I will assist if I can. I don't know if this will work, but I'd like to complement what he's doing with a little bit of hocus pocus.
Oh, okay.
Could I do extinguish vitae? Would that work on them? I know they're not vampires, but
You could give it a shot.
I
Yeah.
figure if I can just make them extra hungry, then
Okay.
They got vampire shit going on. Ooh.
well. Ooh. After you, good sir.
Yes. And let's re-roll this.
Okay.
I'll stick with my
That's
3.
2.
2. So I'm just recalling last episode where you're like, Cassius has stuff. It's like Cassius does have stuff, but Josh can't roll for shit at the moment.
True. I was like, it'll be really fun. I'll walk in there and be like, pow, vampire powers.
Yeah.
No.
From what you can tell, they don't have any of the like
You don't have emotions?
No, it's so your initial attempt to compel kind of hit a brick wall. In terms of like there's no real subconscious, there's no real like conscious to grab a hold of and compel an action. The same way, there's no emotions here which you can find a purchase on to like spark some type of response from. It seems like from those 2 actions and your earlier occult, what I can give you now at this point is they basically seem to be almost robotic constructs with certain like I wouldn't even say impulses, put certain like protocols involved.
Yeah, they literally have a thing that they do. And that's it.
The most likely thing they have is like, don't attack each other, don't attack, XYZ,
Kill everything.
kill intruders. Yeah, it's very, very basic and very simple.
Damn.
All right, but perhaps we should just go drain the gasoline out of the vehicle and cover them in it while they're stood there.
But just FYI, it doesn't seem like the gun's just resting. You can hear like a click as it keeps trying to fire the gun. Sidebar, the thing, like you can see the gun, the like shotgun, and there's like a like tendril of muscle wrapped around it that keeps like twitching as it's trying to pull the trigger again. Yeah, it's not cool.
Right.
And you can still hear the sloop from downstairs, by the way.
Okay. The one that has its head poked through the bars.
Yeah.
Cass is going to use potence, and he's going to attempt to pull its head off.
Okay. Oh, sidebar. Alec, who are you extinguishing Vitae on?
One of the like let's say the one that's trying to squeeze through
Okay.
on the fleshy monster.
The blade arm one.
Yars.
Are those the same one?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So what I can tell you is, as you move a bit closer towards it, it seems unresponsive and has stopped moving.
Oh. I poke it a bit.
There's like a click from the shotgun from Mr. Shooty, and Punchy, like his fists come up and kind of like one of them smashes against the bars. They shudder a little bit but seem to hold.
Oof.
Is everything okay there, Cassius?
What happened to this one? The one of the stop moving.
Was it me or was it you?
I didn't do anything.
You will need to
Successful.
Do a rouse check.
I need to rouse, yeah. Well, perhaps I should try again on one of the others.
Yeah, do it.
It's not
It
an
works.
experiment if we don't test for consistency and reliability, validity, and I have not done science in a long time, but, well, that's a lie. Not this type of science, anyway. Let us experiment, and I shall try and repeat the process on others. I'll stick with me 3.
So, which one are you going for?
The one with the shotgun this time, because I can at least hear if it stops clicking it. And I assume the noise is getting quite irritating to Alec.
Okay. Nothing really happens. You feel yourself like, expelling, like dissipating some blood, like kindred blood that's like exists in this thing. But there's still the click and the kind of clang as the shotgun moves around a little bit.
Did I get the feeling I put as much energy into that one, or like, do I have any impressions?
Yeah. It was very, very similar in action.
Yeah.
And I can probably give you this because you rolled okay on your occult and you have some knowledge of this type thing. The most likely thing that's powering these is kindred blood.
Yeah.
So
I wonder
that's
if
like the impetus.
Yeah,
impulse that
okay.
keeps them running.
okay, that makes sense if they're sort of bonded to something in a way. I wonder if some of them just have more blood than others. So Alec is going to rouse himself again at this shotgun one and see if he can achieve the same thing. So he's going to
Get hungrier?
get hungrier and have another crack. That is another 3.
Okay.
I'll stick with.
Yeah, again, you feel yourself like calling upon the power of your blood. You do feel that how what's your hunger at?
3.
3. Okay. Yeah, you feel that slight loss and increase in hunger, that dry burn in the back of your throat, as you enforce your will upon the shotgun zombie, let's call it, for
Sure.
the sake of
Sure.
and you feel yourself kind of dissipating more of the blood that's powering it, but it's still moving. It's probably a little bit more sluggish, not super noticeable, but enough.
I can repeat this process, but I'm going to need a takeaway.
Right.
By all means, it appears to be having some effect, so I'm happy to...
The one I'm most worried about is the punchy one. Is this one, and I slap its face, isn't doing anything. That one can't do anything that I can see, but the other one's kind of annoyed. So is it within reaching distance if I grab it through the bars?
Yes. It's kind of restricted weirdly because Shooty Boy has arm over it, with the shotgun. So it's you'd probably have to be reasonably quick, but
Okay.
We can always be more bloodthirsty. Is the scythe-holding hand on the floor in front of us with a paperweight on it still?
yes.
Alec is very tempted to just snap the blade off or take the hand that's holding the blade and just one of them, like the shotgun one, in the head. Shall we just deal with them?
They're kind
That was the
of
plan.
pressed up against the bars, so something along those lines would be a bit easier.
Sure. Allow me. I've always fancied myself quite the fencer. I shall try and break the arm first, just so I can then hold the hand that's holding the blade, or whatever flesh is attached to it, and wielding this flesh weapon, try and just stab, say, the shotgun one in the head, because it's a bit slow.
It seems to be slightly rotten, and it's starting to maybe decompose a little bit.
Right.
So it's reasonably easy to get the
Okay.
There's a tiny bit of wood that's been kind of snapped off and then jammed in, and so
Crude.
and you just want to put the scythe through the head of
Yeah, just give it a stab in the head.
the punchy one.
Let's go for the punchy one, because that one is punchy.
Okay. Yeah, you just move forward quickly. Just goes
On
straight,
guard.
straight in through the brain. Nothing changes.
I assume it's going to take several stabs, so can I just try and poke, say, 6 holes in it? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it doesn't react too much aside from to try and it punches the bars a couple of times, tries to get at you, but
All right, well,
Get rid of
therapeutic
its
perhaps.
arm. Slice its arm off, then it can't do anything. I don't know how it works, but it won't work if it's not connected to itself.
Very well.
And I take the other side of this blade, and I use my potence to just shove it in the joint and try and cut the arm off.
if you do try to do that, you'll leave yourself open to punchies.
I mean, that's the risk, right? That's we cut off the arm or we get punched.
Okay. This would be dexterity melee in that case.
Fuck you.
I mean, it's
I
quick.
have
isn't it?
nothing in
Yeah.
there. But the good news is,
Is that for myself as well?
If you're like, the
I'm
head,
gonna try and cut one of his hands off as he's trying to punch.
the head isn't too difficult to stab because it's just there and kind of like pushing towards the bars. Whereas
Yeah.
the arms are still active, and you know, like as you get closer, it will try and punch. As you like, if you reach through, it will try and punch. So it's trying to like get you.
Okay, first I'd like to just poke its eyes out. Assuming it only has one head, but I'd like to make sure it's not only like been stabbed in the mouth or nose or wherever I started, but I'm just going to try and blind it before I go doing
get
anything
as much
too
of an
crazy.
advantage as possible.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Eyes closed.
Death by 1,000 cuts here. The
Right.
boys are problem solving.
Yep, you're doing good, guys.
This is team building at its best.
Are they problem solving?
Yeah, problem creating too, Gloop Gloop, I'm sure.
Poor
I
Count
mean,
Glupula.
I
Right,
don't-
well,
I wish we had this on tape.
Yeah.
short of him regrowing his cornea, I feel somewhat better prepared.
Do either of you have silence of death? Obfuscate.
Nope,
Oh, that's a shame. Okay.
nothing so useful.
Carry on.
Right, well, I've done that. I will allow you to slice and dice whatever you wish. I will just try and slow him down a little. I'm going to do my thing one more time, extinguish vitae on Punchy Man.
Okay.
And I'm going to work myself into a frenzy. Not just yet, though. Hey, there we go. That's a
Ooh, nice.
4 that time.
Yeah, so he, as, like, you're kind of stabbing at his eyes, he kind of, there's no, like, extra kind of movement or anything, just still, like, punching at the bars and trying to get kind of through and at you, and then you do the same thing as before, and just slumps the hands, like, with a big thump, just onto the steps that they've been trying to walk up.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
But there's still the clicky, click, 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 click.
Yes.
Click, click.
Well, aside from the clicker here, who I feel relatively harmless,
You said there were
Unless-
4, right?
I don't know. Perhaps.
Okay. This isn't good because either they're somewhere else or someone lied
Yes.
to us.
Well,
You can't see down into the room, just FYI.
I am hesitant to open the gate and allow one through, but perhaps Clicky would like to join us.
Yep, let's do that. Okay, let's make this quick. I'm gonna open the gate, drag the ones that aren't moving out.
They'll just fall.
Yep. I'm gonna drag them out of the way
Okay.
and then grab Clicky as it comes towards me, I assume, and like force it down onto the floor and then shut the door again.
Okay, that'll be a strength brawl, please.
Okay. That's more
Can
like it.
I attempt to assist by just simply opening and closing the door for him like the gentleman that I am?
Sure. You can also assist in like holding it down. Like
Oh, for
I was gonna say I'll give Cassius like a couple extra dice if you want to actually get in there and you know.
Yeah, okay. What am I doing to help?
Cassius, just take a couple two extra dice for your strength roll.
Thank
So
you.
maybe you won't have to re-roll.
No, I will.
You'd like to re-roll, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll 3.
Perhaps we
Oh,
should
for
come back
fuck's
tomorrow.
sake.
Are you going to get overpowered by Clicky?
Yes.
Fucking comedy of errors.
Nearly. Nearly.
I should have called him Clicky. So yeah. You do manage to like pin him down, and he's not really struggling that much, but there is a point where you turn to Alec, and you're like, saying something, like, help me getting down or something along those lines. And as you open your mouth, the gun barrel just goes into your mouth, and it's still like clicking and clicking, and you're just like, "Grr, grr, 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 grr." But you've managed to like pin it down.
God, oh, that's disgusting. Okay.
Yes, it's not supposed to go there.
Thanks. Right. Make sure the door is closed. I am going to go tie this one up in the back of the van.
Sure.
And then I will be back.
Roll me a wits awareness, please.
There's a 2.
Okay. Sorry, carry on.
Well, everything seems to be in order here. I'll just move a desk in front of this door. I feel obscuring the vision, at least.
Just make sure that both doors are closed. I'm going to come back and make sure that the monsters are disabled permanently.
If I need anything, I will scream.
Great.
But I look forward to you saving me.
Alec, you're staying at the door?
Yeah, I'm going to stay and watch the flesh monsters for a bit. And just sort of eyes on them.
Cassius, you're moving away?
Yep.
As you move away, you feel a tug on your leg. It's kind of it's kind of like pulling against a bungee cord.
I take a look at my leg.
There's a very thin like red line that's like that like disappears kind of just under the cuff of your trousers. It kind of looks like a red string or
Where's it coming from?
Goes down past the bars and then down into the cellar, or at least like you guess.
Alec, the fuck is this?
Very
And
good
I
question.
like tug really hard.
Strength, athletics. Sorry, dude. Strength athletics, please.
Oh, I've got potence, so I can add my potence to that at the
can.
very least.
I think it's half your potence rounded up, but yeah.
That's for damage, something. Don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
But it's more dice this time. Oh Jesus Christ!
You kick against it, and it's hard to. It kind of like restricts and tightens, and you feel like this kind of like almost like a snare along around your leg.
Oh dear God. It's not coming off, Alec. Cut it off.
Allow me to fetch my trusty sword. I shall look for the severed
That's words
sword
more
arm
choppy.
and try and give it a few hacks.
As you move, you feel a tightening around one of your legs,
Ah,
and
marvelous.
you're like pulling against a kind of bungee. Yeah, it's and you look, and it's the same thing.
Well, perhaps.
But you can get to the blade. It's not like
I will try and get to the blade first and just see if I can simply sever it.
yeah.
Okay.
You like sever it, and a little bit of kind of like pink purplish goop like squeezes out, and then the tendril or whatever it is like slithers back down the. And you can do the same thing for Cassius as well.
Right.
Dear God, we need to close that door. Close.
Now, about the fire.
Yep.
Shall we leave that to the others? I feel that we have done much work here.
It was hard work, I'll tell you that.
We fought
I don't
bravely.
think we've achieved much here.
We have your prize.
Do you not want to go and see what's down there?
It's significantly stronger than Cassius, and anything stronger than Cassius he doesn't trust.
Yeah, no, it's
That's a good point. I'm going down. No.
There's probably an air vent somewhere we could just trickle some petrol down. Say, all of the petrol.
You get on that. I'm going to tie this thing up in the back of a van.
I'm assuming you
Marvelous.
close the door at this point, right? What? Yeah. What are you doing with the bodies and head as well?
Well, Cass is going to dismember with the scythe the flesh monsters so far,
Okay.
just to double check.
Sure, that's a good. Yeah.
And leave them where they are,
Okay.
as long as they're not in sight of a window.
No, they're just kind of out in the hall there. If you walk into the front door, go around a corner, and then there they are. But aside from that, no, it's not like anyone looking in won't be able to be like, oh my god, there's weird gun arms things.
Cool. Yeah, and he's going to take Clicky and put him in the back of the van.
Right. Oh yeah, of course, because Clicky's the one you have. Yeah. Honestly, the time it is, you can just do a very quick perfunctory, like, kind of, anyone around? And then kind of, like, jacket over the head celebrity style, like, rush him into the back of the van. Oh man, this turned into a bit of a clusterfuck, didn't it?
That was an ordeal.
So it's a
Cass
success.
is going to go to Alec like, if anyone asks, it was a smooth job that went well
We fought bravely.
and destroyed flesh monsters. And then we'll burn down the last one.
I disarmed one with my sword.
You did. You, in fact, bravely jousted with a very, very strong.
It was perilous.
There was tentacles.
Life or death.
Yeah. You saved me. You saved me from almost certain death.
Well, that will go down well at the meeting at least.
Yeah, you chopped off the whatever
Piece
the
of
hell
string.
that was. The string.
Not sure.
It's a tentacle. Let's say some sort of monster tentacle is goes down
Yes.
better.
Would you like me to sit with the thing for a little bit, keep it docile, and perhaps we should burn this place? It is, after all,
I believe it's called a proboscis.
proboscis.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh,
I'm gonna check my leg.
There's a couple of holes, like very small, but they're, once you set your mind to it, or over time it'll heal pretty quickly. It just seems to have been like digging into you a little bit.
Yeah.
that looks uncomfortable. You should see a doctor.
It's too late for that. I've been here with you the whole time.
True. Gargle some salt water. You'll be fine.
Burn the place down, Alec. I'm leaving.
Very well. Where shall I procure some gasoline at this time of night? I shall.
Siphon some from the vehicle we've got.
But,
Yeah.
For the sake of brevity, you can. We will cut to a scene of Cassius driving away, being like, Jesus Christ, and Alec like sauntering off in a kind of casual way as the flames start to burn higher on the dentist's office, which is very burnable, let me tell you. and the results will be a few dead, like reports of a few dead civilians, with maybe a few like weird questions for from the coroner, which will be waved away by money from, well, let's face it, Talia. And the cellar is also very flammable, so the flames will also reach there as well.
Great.
There may be more questions about that though.
Yeah, so Cass will pick up Alex and just be like entirely silent the whole way back.
The whole drive back is just
And
like,
then deliver it around the back, ready for everyone to get back.
yeah, there's like a really happy song playing on the. Wait, I could do this. There's
You'll get muted.
No, it's fine. On the radio, there's and then it's just Cassius staring forward and Alec just sitting there, kind of like, just like driving off, like as the camera stays static, and you both drive off down the road back towards the club. That was an ordeal.
Cassius is disappointed in himself. And let me tell you, if we didn't know that they were going to send out these things and they'd caught us off guard, we would have been completely screwed.
I mean, I'll give you guys the rundown on exactly what was in that basement. But those creatures were not the danger. I mean, they were a little bit in the sense one of them had a gun and the other, but they're basically like worker ants. The queen was downstairs.
Yeah, I don't
And you can
want to
see what it's
queen.
called. For those of you who, because I don't think the I can end that one there. For those of you who can't see it on the
Roll20.
on the Roll20, it's called the Hydra.
It's like that guy we work with.
Yeah.
Well, we got what we came for. Eventually.
And we'll actually have you pulling up at the club with like the beats still going. You know, everyone seems to be in full swing. Things are going pretty well. And please feel free to talk to each other for a couple of minutes while Sheepy goes pee, because that has to happen at least once during these streams.
If I may suggest, after such a taxing mission, we must probably lift our spirits a little before we commit to any speeches. You're also muted.
It's how I feel in my soul, you know?
Yes, understood.
I'm supposed to be this terrifying creature of the night, and I can't wrestle with a brain dead homunculus.
Everyone
thing.
has their off days. Did anyone die? Save for the guard, but
I mean, the people who were turned into that died, and whatever the hell was down there in the basement died.
Already dead. Point being that no mess was made. We were cautious. Cautious and thorough, and we learned something about flesh monsters.
I guess. I'm just
Yes.
really glad that I'm not on the assassination mission tonight.
And you got to see a magic trick, or 4, I believe.
Yeah.
It's quite the... I have to say, I've rarely used it. It comes across as very rude, making someone else particularly thirsty, quite aggressive.
It's clearly effective, but now I'm wondering, your cover story, is that closer
Well, I
to
am
the truth
obviously
than I thought it
familiar
would
after
be?
what you've just seen, am I not?
Until you answer the question, what your clan is, I'm going to keep guessing.
There are so many questions, Cassius, so many answers. But for now, perhaps I could be a Malkavian too. Food for thought. Shall we mingle?
I'm gonna go clean up.
Marvelous. I may get a drink. Was that permitted?
Yes.
Marvelous. I hope there's someone intellectual inside.
So, with that, we'll shift away from the Hardy Boys. No offense, guys.
None taken. That feels generous.
And let us shift over to a new scene where we see Nahari in the doorway of a room, surrounded presented with a room full of shadow, some of which are tendrilled from the floor and from the ceiling, and new eyes have just opened up. You hear from behind you, Thames R say, "I will leave you to deal with this."
But she knows what she's doing. I don't.
I will be here. And Siamara looks up at you and says, "Please, come in."
I just I don't know if she knows that he's here, so I'm gonna try not to look back.
Okay.
But I step in very carefully.
As you step in, the thick darkness of shadows with the tendrils kind of moves back from your feet, so it gives you a little bit of a entryway into the room.
Interesting. I am trying to figure out what I can do. I guess I would also activate my powers.
Which ones?
Can I wreath myself in shadows to the point where she can't see me?
You could wreath yourself in shadows. It'd probably be. Yeah, you could definitely go not invisible, but in this kind of setup, it's so dark and everything. The only problem might be there'd be a lack of light coming from the door, so your outline would still be there. If you went with something like obfuscate, where you can pass without a trace. I always say pass without a trace. It's unseen passage. Right. That is completely gone.
Yeah, I think I would do that and then move a little further into the side so that she wouldn't know where I was.
Okay. In that case, I believe it is a. I'm trying to find you now. Nahari, there we go. I believe it's a rouse check to unseen passage. Okay, you don't get hungrier. Still on that lovely 0.
Yeah.
As you start to fade out of almost reality, as it were, you see Siamara's eyes, her pupils expand, and her entire, all the way from her pupils like completely covering the I think it's called cellar or something. But her eyes are now completely black, and as you step to the side, her eyes follow you.
So that basically didn't quite work.
La Sombra.
And I, while I'm using Unseen Passage, also use my shadows to make myself more invisible.
You can try.
Okay.
Let's have a look here. Sorry. I believe the Shadow Cloak is free. I don't. I'll
I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, that's the level 1 one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of gather your own shadow and like pull it up over you and around you, and keep moving. As you keep moving, by the way, the shadows that were making a path for you keep opening up to make a path for you where you're going, and Siamara's eyes keep following you.
Oh fuck.
Would you like a seat or?
Do you plan to have a conversation with me?
Given the situation, I think it is the best course available to us for now.
I think I'll remain standing, but I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So, from my guesses, I would assume that you have infiltrated our territory and killed our guards. Much because I have not heard from them since word of intruders.
You would assume correctly.
Therefore, it means either yourself or some faction that you are working for or mercenary for have decided or figured out something that has made us enemies. Something that needs a ambush or more quiet work to be done.
We're aware of your monstrosities, yes.
There we go. Unfortunately, one of my compatriots is, two of my compatriots are outside of the territory. I can assume in this situation they have been lured out so that this operation could proceed. Which leaves me by myself here.
What does it matter now? You're here, alone. Your flesh monsters are handled. What do you plan to do now?
I hope to survive.
I think the only way to do that would be to leave the city.
Maybe. I take it you are not one of my clan, the La Sombra.
You're asking a lot of very personal questions.
I asked one.
What difference does it make?
Well, the ability to shroud oneself in your shadow is part of my clan. I can do it Wait. I need to check before I say that, because that might not be true. I cannot do it myself, but I have met those of my clan who can.
My clan and my history are not something I share with people I'm not friends with.
That is a very good policy, and it is something I respect. However, I did not ask what your clan was, merely that I suspect you are not one of my clan.
To answer would be to give you more information than I'm willing right now.
By not answering, you have answered, but that is fine. How would you like to come to an arrangement whereby I live and survive, and I help you?
How would you help me? With what?
I can help you become accustomed to these abilities, to these power over shadow that you have. I have been La Sombra since I was turned.
But you said you don't have the same powers.
Even you can see the powers that I do have. Would you like to be able to see through shadow? Or maybe to see things that are obscured from sight?
I'm disinclined to trust you and let you live. What guarantees do I have that you won't just start up flesh monstering again?
I cannot do that. Syl was the one who was orchestrating this operation. I was his number two, I guess. However, seeing as the options before me seem to be death, or I guess you were offering for me to leave the city, I'm quite happy to do that as well. Power has shifted. Now I find myself on the losing side. I would prefer not to die, so I'm willing to compromise to survive. It's a very basic concept.
What guarantee would I have that you wouldn't just stab me in the back in the future?
I have my pride. Of course, if you were then to be overthrown and defeated, I would offer the same thing to the next person who defeated you. However, that is just survival. It just makes sense.
I can't unilaterally make this decision. I don't want to. But if you give me your word that you will look to my leadership and not harm anyone I don't ask you to harm, you can come meet the coterie and we can decide together your fate.
What about the option to leave the city? It is not that I prefer that, it is just that I do not rate my chances in front of an angry mob.
We're not an angry mob. We didn't come after you all for no reason. You were going to take over the city.
Are you saying
You had to be stopped.
Are you saying
It
you're
was
not
perfectly
going
rational.
to take over the city?
We don't plan to kill everyone in the city if we do take over. Here's a big difference.
Semantics, possibly.
My group is quite reasonable. I won't let you go or let you stay without their support. So your choices are to come with me and see them or die. They will want me to have help. I can offer you that much.
Well, I do not think I can beat the both of you, although I think it would be close. So, I guess unless I want to fight to the death, I do not have much choice. And the, like, shadows start to recede, the eyes, like, slowly close. And give me a second. Okay.
What?
See if I can fix that.
He's a witch.
There we go. And as she kind of like relaxes and you relax, Temsar appears right in front of her, grabs her by the throat, and just bites down into her neck. And you start hearing like glub glub, like kind of sucking noises and things like that.
Temsa,
And he holds up a hand and a finger at you, kind of like as he's. And she kind of like struggles a little bit and like kind of smacks against him, but it's fairly, she wasn't prepared for it. And then you hear like this crunch as he like rips away and closes his hand on her neck, so her neck just like pops. And then like a as he like drops her to the floor and like turns to you. There's a slight like wild look in his eyes. You know the Banu Hakim and specifically the Hashen quite well. They can get a little bit intense when they feed. But after a moment that calms down slightly and he relaxes, and Siamara's body is lifeless on the floor. Or at least she's in torpor.
well, I hope you can find us both a teacher besides her, because we'll need one.
Naha. She broke our tenants. There is no agreement. There is no mercy. We deliver justice, and she had to die.
I don't disagree. I just thought we could use her first. But maybe you're right.
You are letting your friends influence your decisions. Back when we first inducted you, you would have just killed her, like you did with the one we made you eat.
It's not my friends that caused my hesitation. It's this power that I don't fully understand that terrifies me, frankly.
Well, you will get a handle on it. You must. But we cannot allow people like this to walk free of retribution.
You're right. Thank you for your help.
I was supposed to test you and see whether you were ready to join us. I think you need more time. So, we will burn this place down,
Yeah, let's do that.
and I will take my leave back to our people for a while.
Will you send word if you do find someone to help me?
I will. But for now, stay strong and keep a handle on it. And if you can, find someone to help you figure out what is going on. There is no fear to be needed. You just need to keep going.
I have no other choice. All right. Let's get out of this place and burn it.
Sounds good. And you, like, walk out, leaving the, torpid, still, let's call it still instead of lifeless, because, body of Xiomara. It's the work of a few moments to start a small fire that's going to blaze out of control, and then leave the house to the sounds of fire, like kind of down the road a little ways, and probably like a little glow in the distance. Incidentally, just for people wondering, Xiomara was not like completely drained. It was just a lot of blood taken, and then kind of excessive damage to throat and so forth put her down into torpor.
So he didn't diablerize her?
He didn't diablerize her, no.
Okay.
He's been he's like reasonably and he also succeeded his frenzy check.
Okay.
So, with that, there are 2 members of the Old Guard remaining, with Nahari and Temsa are moving back away out of the. Oh, actually, as you're walking out, you'll probably bump into Chrys and Sheldon.
Chrys!
Hi. Okay, you're fine. That's good.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
We
Sure?
managed to deal with the guards quite succinctly, and we're just on our way to assist you. However, given the beginnings of a burning building, I assume we are not needed.
Yeah, we're good. We good. All done. Okay. Great work, team. Is Thames R still like
He's
there?
He's back a little bit, but yeah, still visible and still there.
Hello? Man.
Hello,
I'll explain later.
woman.
Are we leaving now? Yeah?
I guess, is anyone left that we need to take care of? Samara's gone.
As long as the monsters are.
I called Cass or sent a message to Cass to handle that. So hopefully he has.
He
We should
better
probably.
better have bloody done. Okay. Okay. Well, let's ring him before we leave and see. Okay.
You sure you're all right?
I'm fine. Bringing Cass now.
As
Okay.
you yeah, no, that's good. Cassius, get a phone call.
Pick it up.
You hear like a
Okay, well, I assume that you're at the club then.
Yeah. The building's taken care of.
Okay. And was there more that we need? There more buildings or anything else that we need to do whilst we're still over here?
I don't think so, right?
From what I remember, we had just the build. We don't need to go to the rookery or anything, right? Or any? I think it was just.
It was just the kindred part who were part of the old guard, and the fleshy monsters who needed to be dealt with.
Super.
As far as you know.
As far as we know. Yeah. Right. Okay. Then we'll meet you in a minute. Then. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
You okay?
Mhm.
What happened?
Everything went to plan.
Right, but did it go okay, or did it just go to plan?
No, and then yes.
Right.
I'm still with Sheldon and Man. So I don't know. So I'll see you soon. Okay. All right. Good. All right then.
But
All good?
Yeah, they're he's at the club now, so let's go there and then reveal our work. Then.
All right. Let's head back.
I am going to take my leave here. Is the former place we were safe? Do people know about it?
No. Only my friends, and they won't share.
Okay. I will pass by that, but I will be leaving the city again. I will send
Okay.
someone to get in contact with you soon.
Thank you, Timsaw. I'm glad you're all right.
And he
And I
like
just
he like looks a little bit kind of hesitant, and then looks at Chrys and looks at Sheldon, and then spins and walks off.
So good for you. Okay. Shall we walking?
Yeah.
Okay. All go well for you today?
Mostly. We dispatched Samara and the other one, not in that order. Timsaw was a big help.
Well, that's good. You were worried about him. So,
Yeah, I'm really glad he's alive. I wish he was staying in the city, but he'll get in touch again.
okay. Sweet. So are they all gone out of the city? Is that what's...
I just kind of look at Sheldon, and we can discuss more later.
Okay.
Well, if you have no more need for me, which I believe there is now no more need for me, I may take my leave and go about my own business.
Yeah, no, sure. And you can come to the club if you want. Or do, not that if you want. Thanks for the help and the with the Mamefe. That was weird. Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Well, I feel like I shall not go back to the club for the night. I have done the socializing I felt I needed to do. I may slip into something a little more comfortable and retire for the evening. And he he kind of reaches down and grabs the floor almost, and like his hands come up with like parts of his shadow, and he then like slips it around him, and it forms into this kind of like black suit almost that like starts engulfing him, and you can see like just up his neck there's little tendrils and wisps of shadow as he nods and says, "Good evening."
Good evening.
And
Bye.
then walks off. As he walks away, the shadows start to like kind of creep up the back of his neck, and then he's harder and harder to see, and then disappears into the night.
He's on our side, right?
Sorry.
Was he helpful?
I bloody well hope he's on our side. Yeah, it was great. It was good. It was great.
What happened?
Exactly that we planned. Yep.
Are you sure, Chrys?
I mean, it went as we planned. So.
I need someone to learn from. But I don't know if we can trust him. Or anyone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just if this is all done, why don't we go to the party and just be for a minute.
Have a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. And then we're just gonna like start power walking. Like, let's go.
Yeah, like both of us.
Like, it's time to. I hope they've still got some humans.
We're both like really stressed, but just like stressed together.
Aw.
A little bit keyed up.
Yeah.
It's been one of those days.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it did go to plan, but
I mean, everything. Yeah, everything.
yeah, the
went
plan was
as-
kill them, and then that happened. So
Yeah, it was a good plan, and it was executed pretty damn well. So, congratulations, everyone. Up until the reveal and everything, you have so far managed to obliterate the old guard. Aside from obviously Cyril and Mr. Shooty, who I guess is now called Mr. Clicky.
and Mouse,
Called Clicky.
even though he's
Mouse is
probably a plant.
well. Mouse is more of a loner.
Hmm.
It's basically what Kafka told you. Is Mouse is like they needed someone who was a bit more devious and dastardly. So they asked for Mouse as a loner, and so he's been working as Sasha for a while. But
Okay.
with this happenstance, like the thing is because the Carrion told you, they knew that you were like likely to do something, and then told Mouse, and then
Yeah.
Mouse was like, "All right, sweet. As soon as
I'm
something
out."
starts happening, I'm a gone." So he just he's like the second you guys started moving in, he ran off.
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone in the chat say, "Okay, so Mouse is just apparently invulnerable." It's like it's just the dude who won't quit. I'm just gonna,
Okay.
seeing as he's the only one alive, and we've apparently got a nickname for him, I'm just gonna rename Shooty to Mr. Clicky.
Mr. Clicky.
Mr. Clicky. There we go.
We never got to see Slooper Dyer.
Never got to see what?
Chat named them.
I actually choked when you just said that.
We were naming the monstrosities in the basement whenever you said sloop.
Oh,
Or-
Slooper
Slooper Dyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to scroll up to see where they were. Oh man, I think they might already be.
Oh, they've already gone. Outrageous.
So yeah, Mouse was folded into a suitcase, hilariously. That was you guys enlisted the
Anakim.
Banu Hakim, the Hashen, to get Mouse.
Remember when we didn't do our own dirty work? Good times.
Once upon a time.
And Tess found out it's not actually that cool to get fed upon by hungry Banu Hakim.
Yeah. That sucked. A lot. No pun intended, but...
Yeah. Poof.
Okay.
So, let's have... That's a big stream. Go with this. So, Tess. Back at the club. You're doing your hostess thing. Cassius, and Alec, you are back now. You have, a reasonably placid, tied up Mr. Clicky, in the back of the van. I assume you want to go and talk to Tess. Because it's still currently in club mode, and there's, like, humans and random people, like, at the club and everything. I'm assuming you don't want to just kind of kick down the door and go, look what we found, humans! This is one of you, but fucked up!
We wanted to make sure that no one saw this, so we went and got it for you.
And brought
Has
it to the party at full swing, you know?
Is the derpy as placid as he was when he got in the truck? Like, has he riled up at all since the drive, or?
No, he's kind of actually chilled out a little bit. There's still, like, movement, but it's not, like, excessive movement.
Okay. No nightcap needed then. I shall, yeah, I'll go in and mingle, I guess.
Okay.
I would probably be still, like, dancing a little bit and chatting with people. I want to say I'm probably... Like, I've probably flirted with a bunch of people, but, like, kind of felt a little guilty about it when I saw, like, Castor, and I'm like, So I'd probably be trying to go and talk to Castor at this point in the night.
Okay.
Am I starting to talk? Fuck! Do I have to, like, do I have to start talking? Do you know how long it's been since I flirted with someone?
I mean,
Like, I'm out of practice, man.
Castor's just kind of, like, leaning against the bar, like, a little bit relaxed, and Gimlet's, like, down the bar a little bit, mixing up a cocktail, like, crush.
I'll probably go up and
glass,
mention.
I wouldn't put it past Gimlet to put crushed glass in people's drinks, but he's not.
Oh my god, he's like, I'd be like, let me get the special, Gimlet, the special, the crunch special. Anyway, I'd probably go up and be like, I'm impressed that you got Andy to come.
Well, I think she was worried about me coming by myself to a whole load of city people. You know?
Well,
and, like, you can feel like Andy's gaze off, like, you know, just off somewhere. It's like staring daggers.
so are you two like a thing or something?
No, she's just possessive of all of us. It's, you know, like, none of us really come into the city too much. We don't mix too much with the rest of everyone.
So what does it take to impress her? Or get her on your good side?
I never really figured it out. I guess, just a little bit of time out in the country, dedication to not being a snooty city dweller. And he kind of, like, slows down a little bit as if he's like, wait, am I describing you?
Uh-huh.
No offense or anything meant, of course.
No, none taken. Just, it just. Sorry, I don't get tongue-tied too often. I'm mostly just, the people in the wilds, they seem, I don't know,
Wild.
normal. No, I think we're, no, truly, like, it doesn't seem like any of you have any ulterior motives or anything, and it's kind of refreshing.
Well, we do have ulterior motives. It's just we have about 7 or 8 members and about 20 to 30 ulterior motives, and they all kind of bounce off each other and cancel each other out. So it's interesting. I do miss the more simple times when you'd want to do something and then just do it. But at the same time, I do enjoy the people I spend my time with, so that's nice. There's not quite as much
Drama.
well, no. I mean, there's arguments and fights, and but it's all up front, you know? You'd never have to worry about someone stabbing you in the back, because they'll just punch you in the face. Which is nice and different.
Yeah. I guess I kind of miss that. Things used to be a little bit more simple. Although, with people like Chrys around, you never know when a punch is going to be thrown. So,
I mean, you say that, but at the same time, like, you look around and realize you own this place, and it's pretty damn nice for a start. It's not too bad.
It was a team effort.
Hold on to the team.
Oh. And Chrys does a good job at being part of that team. So do the rest of them. And Gimlet, of course, but, I give him enough praise as it is. He's not going to be able to fit his head through the door if I keep praising him. Is that right, Gimlet?
What's that? Yeah. Like 20 or 30 probably.
Yeah. But, if Andy, I keep feeling like she's like your mom in this weird scenarios.
Kind of like slided closer a little. You could notice enough to see that, like, while he'd be focused on Castor, she's like shifted closer.
Yeah, I'm just like, and I kind of might want to look back and just be like, do you want to go out sometime? Like, on a date? I know we're super different, and I know that I might have to go through your unofficial undead mom. But I've had a really rough go of meeting people in the city, and you seem like the first person who's kind of one, super hot, and two, I don't know, just kind of normal-ish.
Thank you for saying that.
In a really interesting way, though, not like you're not interesting or boring. That's.
Well, I didn't think you were calling me boring.
Oh. Okay.
Until you pointed it out.
I was.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gimlet, can I get a drink?
What? Yeah, right. I mean, who do you want? Oh, like a pour drink, yeah?
Alcohol, Gimlet.
Alcohol? Yeah, of course I was talking about alcohol. What were you talking about? What do you want?
Just make me something. I don't know. Just something fruity.
I'll make you one with everything. Coming right up.
Well, guess the night is still young. Yeah.
You were asking me out.
Yes, I was. Yes, maybe.
Yeah. No.
How?
Yeah. Can't say it's a common occurrence for me. But yeah. What were you thinking? Because it's been years at this point.
Well, I don't know, because the only people I've really dated have been car thieves, and
Would you show me?
my exes, or how to steal a car.
The car thing.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Cool. Yeah. No, I can show you a lot of things about cars.
We could. I don't really know the lingo, but we could boost a car. And
you mean just straight up steal one?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then,
yeah.
Like, go on a trip around the city. You know, like around the outskirts in the country.
Yeah, actually, I know some decent paths. We could go to a race if you want. Even, I mean, I'm sure there's something. Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, this is nice. I would love to show you car stuff, and I want to know stuff about your things that you do, and what do you do? What are your hobbies? This is really, I'm really bad at this. Wow, this is terrible.
Mostly I wander around the woods as a wolf.
I know stuff about wolves sometimes.
I don't.
I know a
No,
really
not
big
really.
wolf. Well, I don't normally wander around the woods, but I would love to maybe take a wander around and show me things that you like wandering to on a regular basis.
Do you want to organize a day or?
Yeah, let's see if we survive tonight first, because I feel like I'm dying again. So I'm gonna get this drink, Gimlet. I feel like reach for it, like grabby hands.
There you go, Chief.
Is
One with everything. There's like.
there a pickle in here?
There's like 5 different umbrellas. It's like this like really extravagant glass that just like blooms out. It's a 2-hander drink.
I try to grab it with one hand. I'm probably like, oh shit, like
like wobbles.
like, wow, you really were not kidding. Okay. Cool. Well, that sounds nice. I like it. Yeah, we'll set a day. We'll set a day. Maybe
How about before I leave, I come find you and we'll figure it out. That gives you a little bit of time to.
yeah. That's a good idea. I hope your impression of me stays the same. Hopefully, by the end of the night, and that I don't completely screw it up too because of the surprise and everything. So
You're doing fine.
just hold on to that thought.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and talk to Andy before she turns into a hyena and jumps at your throat.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Hi. Hi, Andy.
She's just like crossed arms, leaning against the wall. She's a little bit closer again. It's like,
I'm just gonna be like, I'm sorry, like over to Andy. Just like, I'm gonna take my 2-handed drink and just like
shuffle off.
just scurry away, like just. God, I don't know how to talk to normal people. Fuck. And I'll go over to Guess I don't know. I'll see who's around. Like,
Do you
who's-
just like wander into a random group of people and like pretend that that was your plan? Where you're
pretty
like,
much
you're like flustered. You kind of like shuffle off, and then you find yourself in a group of people. You're like,
I'm like, ha ha ha,
sure,
laughing
there's
at the next
a-
joke.
glug glug glug.
Like the super awkward, just like sidle into the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill. I might check my phone and text Nahari or Chrys and see what's up.
Okay.
Or if we have like a group text, I'll just text the group text and I'll just be like, I did it, you guys.
I would totally text back and be like, "You did? Nice."
I did it.
Except your phone isn't working.
Oh, right.
Oh. I'll text it and I'll put like a wolf and a heart emoji and like the vampire emoji and the wedding ring or something.
Okay.
If Chrys gets it and tells me, I'd be like, "Yeah."
Just looking like,
Cass is gonna send a reply that just says, "Well done, Chrys."
What do you mean, Chrys?
muted the conversation.
I'm gonna call. I'm straight up just calling him now and be like, what do you mean?
Like literally as Cassius.
You got masterminded. Deal with it.
as Cassius is walking into the club, basically. I assume you're just gonna like slide in the staff entrance.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it at this point, actually?
So Operation Fuck Shit Up kind of went off about 2:30, I believe.
Okay.
So it's probably close to like, it's probably going on towards like 3:30, 3:45.
Okay, so we'll start kicking the humans out.
Okay. You want to just
Like-
want to give the nod to Gimlet and get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna be like, we're gonna get the real party started.
Okay.
And I will be sipping on my fishbowl of my fiesta fishbowl is what I'm gonna call it. I'm just gonna.
Okay. In that case, probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes, Chrys and Nahari also appear. And just as people are kind of like getting ushered out, you know, the music goes down, the lights come on very slightly, not to the extent of when a place closes, just in kind of like so, you know, you hear Gimlet going, "All right, everyone out. You can't go. You don't have to go home, but fuck off." And
That's
just like people kind
not
of
the
like,
line.
Before all of the regular people left, I assume I had an opportunity to snack on one.
I mean, outside you could waylay
Sure,
a drunk.
as one's leaving.
Cass also needs to top up, so he would
Okay.
have socialized and
In
need someone.
in this current environment, it's not too difficult to have a quick feed. I will take it off the like designated feedings for the club, but it's not an
What they're there
endless
for.
well of I was gonna say restitution, but that's not the word.
Prostitution. I mean,
I'm like with you and Gimlet in charge, it's only a matter of time, right?
oh, it's gonna become a brothel in like a week. Like, jeez, we're a mess.
Mm.
But we're a mess that makes money, so
Also, a certain amount of sense, weirdly.
yeah.
It's the odd couple, just for some reason.
Oh my
it
god,
works.
we're like, if we were actually a couple, we would be like the Adams,
Yeah.
Gomez and oh my
Morticia.
god, Morticia. Yeah,
Why am I so good with names?
I don't like that was great. That was really good. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you would be closer to Uncle Fester.
Me?
Oh no, sorry, Gimlet.
Oh,
I was like, whoa.
Gimlet would probably be pretty close to Uncle Fester, yeah.
Wow, Morticia and Uncle Fester. That still kind of works in a way.
Yeah, they were friends.
Yeah, they were friends. It's a family.
Mm.
Once the others come in, I'll kind of go and meet up with them, and we'll get the DL.
Okay.
So
There's what's happening now is just like the different factions, the different faction leaders. Now that everything's calmed down, they've kind of like relaxed their facade a little bit, and they've kind of grouped up. They kind of all have their own tables or, you know, areas where they're situated, and they will like leave them to go to someone else's to have a conversation and to kind of powwow and talk about like boundaries and terms and territories and stuff like that. That's all kind of like happening in the background. I assume you guys would like to go up to the office and just touch base quickly before you do anything else. So, you know what's funny is I was so sure that the Tess part of this evening would end up with a bang session in the office again. So I was like, not just Castor, but Sheepy was totally wrong-footed by that whole interaction.
Yeah, no, she's super awkward with people that she actually wants to try to woo.
I didn't.
Everyone
notice.
else, she's like, I know I'm hot. Like, okay. So we'll go up. It would have the ash and stuff would have been cleaned up, so
yeah,
I think everything would be fine there.
It got dust busted.
Get the vacuum. All right, so we'll go up to the office, and I'll be up there with my fishbowl. Just
Okay.
So I got a date.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Super nice.
yeah, and he wants to learn about cars. So, and I'm gonna go for a walk in the woods, I think. Also, I tell him I knew a really big wolf, so I don't know how that's gonna play in there, but
Good luck with that.
anyway, how did your night go?
It went to plan, is how Chrys put it.
Chrys, what went wrong? Chrys.
my fist went through someone's face.
Yeah.
Ew.
Did it work?
Well, that's why you went to plan.
So you did your job.
Where's Eli?
He left after
Why?
putting the people in the floor.
Such a
Oh, okay,
weird
so-
night.
He just left? Like he's gonna go patrol, or
I
did he
don't
tell you
know.
where he's going?
Look, I punched someone in the face and it from the other side. Okay,
You're the
Tess,
only
it's a
one
hard
who
time.
can talk to him.
No, apparently I can't because he wouldn't. He just, I don't know. It was a look.
Oh, he broke up with you too, huh? I know, it's so hard losing like an adorable pet vampire man.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I mean, I think I'm pretty
It's
chill.
fit.
Anyways, so your fist went through a person's face?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gonna slide my fishbowl over to her.
Okay.
Just start on it. There's like one of everything in there. It's honestly amazing.
This affects me because I'm dead.
It's just, and I'm just gonna stick the straw in her mouth. One of the many.
Not gonna work. I don't really want to be sick this as well. Okay, it's been difficult enough. Thank you.
Just smell it or something. Okay, so
Can I have
You-
some?
Have it.
You should
Okay.
snack on someone who's been drinking. Though.
Look, are
That'll
we
help.
are we dealing with the other things like the flesh monsters? Did you kill them?
Burn all but one.
Okay. And that one is where?
In the van out back. Alex, are
It's
you
secure.
okay to oh, it's tied up. You okay to bring it in when I bring Cyril up on stage?
I've arrived with more attractive partners in the past, but sure.
Well, we'll find you someone cooler to hang out with next time.
Will I pass it to yourself for a grand introduction? I wouldn't want to be stood there, ready to be executed.
Pass it to me. And then I'll hand it to Talia. Everyone
You
be ready to jump Cyril if we need to.
you could probably have prepared like a top or something you could roll it up in, and then you could do like a unroll reveal type thing.
Unwrap the present.
I'll
Should
try
we-
to find something to cover it.
Are we doing like a public gift giving thing where like you're publicly giving this to Talia?
Yes.
So
Part of the point. I give
Right.
something publicly to her. She supports us. We move to get everyone on board with the whole Council of Weirgate thing.
right. Okay, cool.
I'm good.
I am going to tell Gimlet and the shadow people, whatever the triplets, I guess, to just make sure that the doors are locked
Mhm.
and that everything else is like sealed up and ready to go, and then you can bring in your friend. Does your friend gift have a name?
Clicky.
Clicky. Ew.
Yes, he likes
the
to
way-
click.
If you get anything on my floor, you are cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine when Cyril is I thi- he probably won't clean it up if he gets dead. And then the blood on the floor, and then it's red.
I mean,
Mhm.
why do you think we got dark floors?
Like the spills.
Yep.
Yes. Obviously, yes. Okay. So let's have a reveal then. Wait, so all the rest of them are dead? How many were there?
So many.
There were a lot.
We
We-
didn't
Like
count
20?
them all.
30? 50?
could-
100?
We couldn't count. It wasn't 100. It was like in the tens. There was we fought 4 of them. There was a larger one that
Some sort of
Well-
tentacle monster.
But
I'm
they're
not
burnt
familiar.
now.
I
We-
fought it back with a sword.
That's
I don't
you
feel
just
like
have a
I don't.
sword?
Yeah, I'm not.
it's more of a scythe.
We claimed it from one of the.
He tore its
Oh,
arm off.
fucking Reaper? Oh, ooh.
He saved me from this thing with the big scythe.
Should have been a surgeon. Much more money in it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Still.
Well, I should really get a decontamination room installed in this place. Didn't think I would need one in a club, but you know, here we are. So
Yeah,
Okay.
that was some. I mean, Eli put them in the floor, which is fine, but maybe we should have had a plan for them. What to do with the people?
well, and the rest of the people, I mean, you had a fist through a face, and Nahari,
I handled one.
brother.
Hem saw another.
Saw the
awesome.
one you handled.
Hmm?
I saw the one you handled.
Great.
So
Great job.
they're on right. So they're on fire.
Yes, currently on fire.
Yes.
Previously,
Seemed
they
the
were-
most humane
Kimara
thing to
also-
do.
They were already dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
Zirmar's
covered it
dead.
up. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
okay, good.
Temsaw.
So is Cyril then the only person left that we know
Hope
of?
so. And there's Sasha, but
Oh,
Mm.
right. Yes. Well,
Karen will deal with them.
Yes.
Alright, I think.
great. Well, let's get this party actually started then.
Ready to change the city?
Haven't we been doing
Yes.
that the whole time?
It's a good point.
If I may remind, what we have done this evening was done out of necessity, and it will be worth remembering that in the conversation to come. Us or them.
Yeah.
And really, we've done everyone else a large favour in saving their skin, lest they wanted to become slaves to the Sabbat.
And we did it essentially free of charge. So they're gonna have to pay it forward a little.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'll prepare. So I will get up with my fish bowl. Because it's probably still only half done, like not even. And I will go and tell Gimlet to like seal everything, like seal the doors, make sure security is like ready to go.
Yeah.
And I want to do like just a quick sweep of who's in the room.
Okay. So, I assume you all kind of get up at the same time and you know, step out the office, start walking down the stairs, and like spread out. And you go and talk to Gimlet. Time things are moved and etc. etc. So, you wanted to do a quick recce of who's in the room?
Mm-hmm.
All
Like
of-
if anyone left or anything that I didn't know about.
so Sheldon's not here.
Okay.
Aside from Sheldon, everyone seems to be here.
Oh,
Aside from obviously
Fantastic.
the ones who didn't turn up, like the Blessed and Davine, etc.
yeah.
I should probably say Princess Davine or Prince Davine, but whatever.
Yeah. For real. Damn. Before anything else too, I'll just send a quick text to her, be like, hey, I think congratulations are in order. Let's talk when you get back. Love, Tess. Okay.
I think the time difference puts them at like midday-ish almost.
Yeah, they
no,
would be.
no, it's not actually that far. It's no,
It'd be like-
yeah, it'd be like a couple of hours forward actually.
Yeah, I'd be like, I want to say almost midday. Like
No,
7,
well,
8.
it would be from where
You.
you are.
Oh, yes.
We're in the UK.
Of course.
I,
Because we're in the
Minute
UK
two, I was looking
at-
and not in yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Uh-huh. Okay.
but it's probably early enough that the sun, like, I think it's 2 or 3 hours ahead. So yeah, they I would
Probably
say
would be going to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get up on the stage then and I'll say, well, I hope everyone had a great first part to your night. But I think we all know the true party is only getting started now. So, we'll be bringing out a little special something in a moment for your viewing pleasure. And I'll just kind of like dip out and make sure that everything's kind of going okay.
Okay. How's everything going, guys?
guys.
I think as much as Chrys is like stressed out to 11, she's probably still gonna stand. Like if Tess plans on being on the stage when it's revealed. Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm gonna do like I wanted to like a grand, whatever, like I almost imagine like the circus or whatever be like, and our abominable flesh monster, something like that,
She's probably just trying to look casual, leaning against the side of the stage, like I'm here and ready to protect. But not really like.
I'm just
Casual.
gonna stand next to Chrys, just so that she knows I'm there. We're both stressed, but it's okay. Sweet. It'll be fine.
Alec will pop and get it once the others have had a few minutes to.
Yeah, and everything's kind of like moved about, so there's like a half moon semicircle like facing the stage with like, tables and chairs and everyone's kind of sat down like that. Now kind of like preparing for the finale to what has been a reasonably good night. No deaths. In terms of, aside from Nahari like sucking the life out of someone, maybe. But aside from that, no deaths. But fun was had, and people were imbibed, as it were.
Yeah, Cass is going to be up on stage with Tess. He looks like he's pouring through some notes. Should I kick it off?
Which
like,
red?
You're mute.
Oh, there you go.
What you writing?
Something I want to tell everyone here.
Ooh, speech preparation. Okay.
I was thinking metaphors might get straight to the point. Who knows? You know me.
Sometimes I wonder about you, Cass. Do I really know you at all? Never thought you'd go for a girl like Talia, but here we are.
I didn't expect either. But no one else really... Well, no one else tried, I suppose.
Oh.
Tess, that's not true.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, that you know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In such a spectacular fashion. Really makes a statement. I want to make mine.
You know what? It's not always about the spectacle, but I can appreciate it, so good for you.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure her display was definitely a little bit more
Aesthetically pleasing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not. Yeah, this is gross. This is ugly, and I haven't even. I don't even know what it looks like. So, were they that gross? Were they like?
You don't want to know.
No.
No.
I mean, I'm kind of like morbidly curious now.
I'll draw you a sketch later.
Okay. All right.
Right. Do you do that?
Let's do the thing.
Cass
See.
Gets a glass and like does the ting ting ting.
Ding, ding, ding. Yep. The little murmur of like quiet conversation like peters out, and you are faced with, at least on this side of the river, the powerful leaders of each faction and their entourages' attention.
Good evening, friends.
Oh, sorry, just very quickly. Where is Alec? Is
Off
he...
to go get the guy at the van.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to get him and find even if just a sheet I can put over, perhaps one of the dust sheets from the club.
As I said to Josh, there you could have like prepared a top or something to kind of wrap them in, you know, for the reveal.
Sure.
Easy enough to. So my question before we kind of like dive into it, Alec, when you come back, do you essentially line up with the rest of Memoriae, or do you go back over to Cyril, who's currently like sitting in the semicircle?
I will be tempted to do a halfway between the two and kind of just stand fairly distanced from both.
All right.
Like, I don't want to be stood next to Cyril.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, if I just stand up there next to them, it's going to be a bit fishy for him. So I think I'll just be like playing with a drink or something, or finding something in the room where I'm close, but perhaps chatting with someone else.
Okay.
Just making some awkward small talk.
Sorry, carry on, Cassius.
Yeah, he stands up, looks everyone, and just says, "Good evening, friends. The fables of King Arthur tell us that him and his Knights of the Round Table were all equal, sat no one at the head, and he sent his questing knights to destroy evil, to find the Holy Grail. There are ways that our kindred have organized cities that tried to emulate this, with everyone at the same table. And tonight, Memoriae and I have tried to provide a service for everyone. The party is a triumph. Everyone in this room is here to make friends. And our mission is a triumph. The city is safe. Let's look at the Camarilla. Cyril, can you come up here, please?
And I'll start kind of.
Okay.
I will clap loudly.
Yeah, he kind of. There's a moment of hesitation, and then just kind of like relaxing, and his features are like, again, different from, you know, every time you've met him, they're like very slightly changed, but they're all very bland and average. And he stands up and walks forward, like kind of to the front, like in the middle of the half moon, kind of like head tilted slightly.
Well, come on up.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going on, but
You're an honored guest. Come on up.
You're here to represent the Camarilla, aren't you?
well, we are, yes.
Excellent. I stand him between me and Chrys. And let's take the Camarilla, an institution that coerces and takes power from people by using its own strengths. Now, not to say it hasn't done any good, but Alex, can you come up here?
Certainly.
And I'm assuming you like lump this tarp on the floor or something?
Is he still able to stand?
As he can stand on his own, I guess. Yeah.
I'll just plonk him
He is like tied up, so
stood there.
yeah.
Does he smell?
No.
Okay.
Can I prepare toughness?
Sure.
Thank you. To rush check.
Would have also like turned off awe just to make sure that the scene is definitely looking towards them.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, because I'm sure Cyril will be like, what's going on? I'll just sort of lean over. They have prepared some theatrics for us. Should be most exciting.
Very interesting.
I don't see a way of avoiding the Camarilla. We're a city. We live next to strongholds of it. And we can deal with them. They're diplomatic sometimes. What we can't deal with is those who would murder us all and reveal our existence to the world. And I, with a flourish, pull off the tarp.
There's like... Okay, so, anyone looking at the crowd, please roll me what's in insight.
Oh,
I got a 4.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, and you got a crit. Damn.
yeah, I got 5.
With a crit.
I'm just looking at Cyril.
So pretty much everyone aside from Chris. Sorry, Chris.
Doesn't know what's under this bloody tarp. It's like,
As the reveal happens, you see like a mixture of surprise, shock, a little bit of disgust from the majority. The ones who seem the ones who it seems a bit put on, are Calig, obviously Cyril, and Nathan.
Wow, even Talia looks surprised.
Yeah, like a little bit kind of like, what?
Ah, interesting.
Much like the Camarilla, I don't think this city needs the Sabbat. The old guard are done. Their hordes of monsters destroyed, and the last one is a gift to destroy or do what she wants to my partner, Memorier's partner, Talia. So we can show a united front against any threats that might destabilize this city any more than it already has. We can create our own round table. And I hope that Memoria has shown that it's willing to do its part to keep this city safe. I offer you this proof, the bravery of Alexander and Cyril's head.
Well,
Oh, and I've got potents prepared at this point.
yeah. Okay. Alec, No, yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out responses here. And,
I'm just stood looking at Cyril with a smile on my face.
and he's actually going to be quiet and stare at you.
In the
And-
distance, there's cawing of birds.
I'm going to make sure that Cass is stood at least somewhat between Cyril and Alec.
I think the first person to react beyond the shock and then subsequent listening to what you said would be Nathan.
Oh shit. Of course.
Who stands up to be recognized and says, so you're telling us that you found out about a plot by the old guard and our inestimable guest Cyril here and thwarted it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, good enough for me. Okay, off with its head. And then sits back down.
Chris is just gonna glance at Tess like
Frog.
he-
Honestly, it's fucking Nathan. What do you expect?
I think because I noticed that he wasn't particularly surprised. Perhaps it's just because he's not the kind of person who is surprised by much. But he is just going to say, there are those that knew and did nothing. And kind of look at Calig. And scan across and see what everyone's reaction is, but mostly pay attention to
Okay.
Nathan.
We'll go off the previous insight rolls.
Yeah.
Everyone, including Calig, looks around who's the guilty party? But it's put on by everyone. It's put on by no one except for Calig. And Talia stands up and says, if you came by this information, how did you know when the rest of us did not?
We traded for information. We
And
boarded
we
them.
can. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We thought we should know what was going on. Tess?
And we were also made aware of others who were aware. So, those that are not saying anything now
And
may
there's
simply,
there's-
I just let that sit. Sit.
there's a little flash of recognition from Talia.
Because Cass definitely sent her a note saying, cryptically, Calig's in on it.
Well, and also, one thing that you spoke to before with Carrion is that no one was willing to pay the price of the information that you guys got.
Mm.
So it's possible, off your insight and that flash, lucky people get flashed by Talia. Yeah, but that's enough for you to at least guess that she was offered the information and was like, hell no, that price is too high for me. I'm not paying for something I don't know about. Anyway, it's nowhere near me. Who cares? Blah blah blah.
And once I see her kind of recognize that, I might just do a small smile and just not a full nod, but just we paid the price. So
Talia's sat back down, by the way.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna grab Cyril on the shoulder and like force him to his knees in front of everyone.
Yeah, he doesn't resist.
Is there anything the dishonorable Cyril will like to say before his head is severed from his body?
I will speak. My first question, what is the fate of my compatriots?
As far as I'm aware, they're all dead and gone.
I take it I was betrayed by this one here, and he like kind of juts his chin at Alec.
The only one with the moral fiber. Yes.
So the crone did laugh.
Very well. I will not plead for my life. I did what I was ordered to do. I will... I will die, and I will leave my curse with you.
I'm gonna look over at Cass briefly. And if there's no indication that he's gonna say anything else, I'll simply say, I feel the curse is actually going to be lifted with you gone. Let this be the start of a better Weirgate. And I'll just like give the nod to
Alec is looking at Cass like, who is doing this? One like me? You?
Yeah.
I'll give the nod to Cass. Yeah.
I'll be like, I've got that rusty sword.
Yeah, do we
Very
have
subtly under my breath, I'll be like, sword?
hand me the sword.
My liege.
I cast without too much ceremony, removes Cyril's head.
Ching. Head off. And the body. And sidebar, the kind of like fleshy bastard pretty much goes limp and. Well, I guess that answers the question as to whether it's actually true or not. Very well done, Sir Nathan.
Was that Nathan who said that?
I'm always happy to answer any of your questions.
Who's the traitor?
Sorry.
To the old guard?
No, you said that one of us knew something about this, and
Oh! Oh, we're done with the... Well,
I suppose that's
Talia's
information
call.
you'll have to pay for.
Talia knows who it is. She has my full trust. She can do what she wants with the information she has.
Nathan turns to Talia. It's like,
It's not her, obviously.
would you answer all of our questions? And Talia, like, smiles very slightly in a vaguely annoyed way that makes you think maybe one day one of Nathan's buildings is going to explode. Stands up and says, "Yes, I do know who allied themselves with the let us not give them the honor of being called the old guard. They are Sabbat, apparently. But the person who betrayed all of us and aligns themselves with the Sabbat, who put themselves in a position where they were willing to do anything to grasp at power, I name you." And she like turns and points. Calig, desecrator, and traitor. And Calig, like, hand on his chest, kind of like, Savante is standing beside him, but does not make a move. Just stands there. And Calig kind of like gets to his feet and says, "Am I going to be allowed to defend myself, or are you just going to cut my head off as well?"
Depends on how many flesh monsters you've got in your basement.
None. And you can go and check that right now.
Walk into a suspected trap? I think not. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Only that I am innocent of these ridiculous claims. Talia has coveted my territory a long time. This is just a play of hers to grasp at what is mine.
And yet, she wasn't the one who found the information. We have it from very good sources, and we've checked.
Name the sources. I will do my best to defend myself, but I can't defend myself if I don't know who's accusing me.
Who's the most reliable source of information in the city? To you.
Probably one of my servants. They are loyal to me, and therefore I trust the information they bring. And incidentally, I'm gonna run off the insight that you're already going, and you can probably tell that Savante is currently weighing his options in kind of
Is
like
it Cervantes Kales though?
Lobo.
You really confused when you said
Lobo.
Cervantes before.
Sorry. That's
Sorry.
Can I jump out for a second and just say that while Alec was meeting with Cyril and Siamara, they did confirm Calig? Yeah.
They did.
If
That's
I
what
may.
it was. I was trying to think.
Benedica.
Yeah,
It's the
I was
Benedica
like, there's-
thing.
Yeah.
Does anybody in the room have an animal I may borrow?
Yeah.
Weirdly,
I'd
none of us brought our pets to a club opening.
What-
Cass whistles and Conan comes up.
Big.
If
orange-
Where did the
may.
dog come from? Like, I'll be surprised. I'll be like, God damn it.
Why?
He just kind of like trots out, like claws clicking on the floor from behind the bar.
He's gonna scratch the floors.
Ugh, it's a club, get over it.
If I may, those of you who are not familiar with myself, but allow me to share a memory with you all. And I'm going to give the memory to Conan to imprint him, and
Cassius, you'll need to have him go and impart the memory. But
yeah, I was thinking as a trigger, it could be show me your secrets or something. And unless he requires permission because he's Gould and that's complicated, I guess.
No, with Cassius's kind of like okay, it would be perfectly fine. You get a little hungrier, but you ate, so. Damn, that's a nice roll. Where was that roll when you were in the freaking
It's here for the drama.
flesh ghoul?
For anyone that would like to be shown the truth, talk to our friend here. And points to Conan.
Okay, and Cassius, do you need? You don't need a rouse check because he's effectively
famulous.
Yeah, famulous. So Conan like trots around and imparts the vision and the memory of Cyril and Siamara talking about Calig and Benedica. Again, everyone seems, reasonably surprised by this, but seem to adapt to it reasonably quickly. And after it's gone around and everyone's seen it, Nathan stands up and says, well, I think we have just called in to convene the first meeting of the Council of Weirgate. And we will end there.
Nice.
Oof.
Fucking hate Nathan.
Oh god.
Such a weasel. Ugh.
Nathan Chairman confirmed.
Be careful.
He's such a weasel.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone.
That was so cool.
That's so
And,
good.
I hate Nathan. All my homies hate Nathan. Fucking hell. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yes, continue.
We don't usually integrate this into the end of the show and everything, but everyone take 3 XP because
Whoa!
3?
oh yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of XP.
I mean, if you talk to other VTM campaigns, it's not really, but
We get 1 every time, and
I've
sometimes
been
very
starving
rarely.
them of XP, but the rate we've been going and the way we wanted to run the campaign, it's felt appropriate. So,
All my XP at once. What am I going to spend it on?
Ooh.
I have 32 XP to spend, and I'm gonna spend it tonight. So I'm very excited.
No,
my
I'm like
God.
super excited.
Yeah.
I need
Good
like 1 more,
night.
I think, to get what I want.
yeah.
Then maybe
Yeah.
next time.
Holy shit.
So, we'll go. I'll try not to keep you guys too long. We'll go around, talk to everyone, and then I'll give you the info about what the hell was going on with that basement. Because that's quite interesting, and we'll never know unless I tell you. Because
Yeah. It's on fire.
Boined it.
The thing about
We
that
burned it all.
The thing about that basement is 3 different players went to look at the basement and went, nah, like, we're good. I don't, and like that's like that fucking thing down there is scary as balls. I would not send anyone down there. It's a sandbox. Things happened, and there it is. It wouldn't have been as scary if you'd found it earlier, basically. Anyway, let's go to the man of the hour, Cassius. First up, did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself. That was a lot of fun. Nothing went wrong, and we saved the day.
Boo.
We got to pull off a cool plan. We got to do the party thing. The big reveal. Yeah, I had
And a
good
nice speech.
time. Yeah.
You got.
I'm-
I will say you got a couple of people on side with that speech.
Yeah, that's really what he was hoping for, to just like paint. Like, it was really convenient for him that Cyril was pretending to be Camarilla, because he was like, how am I going to get people against them? Because they're like really easy to just go, fine. But no, he's like, well, you thought, but actually.
You know what's really funny as well is what Cyril was originally gonna do was explode that body in like fuck you guys, we're all going out together type of way. But your speech actually made him think it might be better to keep you lot alive, and you might do his job for him in the end. Because of your speech about the Camarilla and everything, he was like, okay, no. Like, I'm gonna die, that's cool, but these people may actually fuck with the Camarilla quite hard, so I'm cool with that. And the Anarchs. So.
Is that literally all he wants? It's just another thing to rise up? Another group?
The old guard were interesting because the Sabbat come in all different shapes and sizes. They tend to be like monsters who just are evil for the sake of being evil. I find that very interesting sometimes. In this instance, an insidious group whose goal was basically to like infiltrate and then fuck up cities, I thought was really interesting. And their basic creed is not fucking shit up for the sake of fucking shit up. It's a lot more anti-establishment and a lot more kind of like burn down everything and start anew.
Okay.
More Anarch than the Anarchs, basically.
Real Anarchs. Not Camarilla-like.
Yeah.
Burn the world.
Again, yes. Hashtag sheepified. I'm like, oh, I like the Sabbat, but I'm gonna make them my Sabbat. I know they're not really like tropey Sabbat where they're all like.
Makes it interesting though.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So that was the what was gonna happen, and you changed the outcome with your speech where he was like, okay.
I did not expect that, but that's cool. And I also didn't realize he could blow up bodies.
Well, they're infused with his blood, and they're basically just like almost like robots for him, pretty much. Which is funny because Cyril's actually originally from the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Roboto or something in Czech is
Yeah, it's well, it's the Czech word for
Bless
Yep.
you.
which is the old pronunciation.
yeah.
Czech word for slave, I believe.
Yeah, and that's where robots comes from, or like the origin. It's just like a fun little thing I threw in there. No one asked him where he's from, so it never came up. But so yeah.
Too late now.
Anything else, or jump over to?
No.
Okay, let's jump over to Alec, Mr. Betrayer.
Yeah. Alec, despite being one for public speeches and leading people against things, decided it was probably best to not stick his finger in it too much today and leave people that were known to the city rather than some weird stranger that's come out of nowhere saying you should trust me. So he let them take the stage and everything went fine.
There may be questions next episode.
Oh, I'm
but
sure.
The theatrics distracted everyone enough to not go, hey, who's this dude who's like on their side but apparently not? What's going on? So.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm expecting some people to be like, well, shouldn't we kill him just to be safe? And so we'll just cross that bridge or die on it next week, and it'll be good. I enjoyed our flesh monster experiments.
That was very fun.
I was like, a more Hydra than Alec was like, what the hell to do? Because I can't fight anything because I'm a potato at fighting. So
you stabbed some brain.
I sort of butter knifed him a bit, which didn't seem to do much. But although I will say, out of all of this, I've now got something that I'm quite keen on spending my XP on, which is fencing lessons.
Oh.
I think after that, he fancies himself a bit of the swordsman.
Should be fun.
Even if it's something that would never come in use. But
yeah, I mean, it works for Kaba.
yeah, He likes the sort of the faux drama that him and Cass had of, oh, what's this bit of string on our leg? Swipe. Better not.
You guys haven't seen Kaber's weapon, have you? I've just
No.
realised that.
I'm going to assume it's a caber.
I think
No, it's actually along the lines of a Buster sword.
I think we've seen it in Cassius's flashback, but not for sure in the show at all because I didn't use one when Chrys had a sparring session with him.
Yeah, I think he used a stick or something. Still quite
I
scary.
don't think he used anything actually. He was just
Yeah. So let's move on to possibly the best flirter I've seen in existence. Just nailed it out the park. Who could resist? Tess and also Vandy.
It's charming to be awkward. Yeah, Tess is like really bad at flirting with people that she actually likes. But on the plus side, she is a great showman. So there you go. I'm really hoping that Caster doesn't suddenly be like, oh my god, she's fucking crazy, and just like dips. But yeah, so I had fun. Like I didn't do too much today, but I got a date, and I'm really hoping Andy also doesn't kill me. So that's key.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's it.
And then off and over to Nahari and also Tess Aquila.
So, when we first got into that room with her, I had every intention of killing her. And then she was like, I could teach you. And I was like,
ooh.
Right? Well.
Siamara is quite badass and kind of cool. So I understand the temptation there.
Yeah. I didn't want to do it without like the say-so of Memorie though. You know what I mean? That wouldn't have felt right. But I was like, I feel like they would have agreed with me, especially given what just happened. And I saw in chat everybody was like, no, kill her, blah blah blah. And I was like, but this is Nahari would want to take advantage.
Would definitely be tempted.
Yeah. Temsa took care of that for me.
Tessachka's like, I don't want to do this. I don't trust this bitch. And then Nahari's like, but she said she would teach me, and I really want to be taught.
Yeah.
But like the interesting thing is if you'd have like left Temsa away, you know, like if you'd gone in solo and all that type of thing, you could have ended up in a situation where Siamara was agreeing to work for you and to teach you and to all that type of thing.
I mean, I feel like she even said, right, that she didn't want to fight both of us. So if I went in there alone, like I almost wasn't even going to talk to her at first. I was just going to, like, it was only because she made it so clear that she wanted to talk that I didn't just try to offer immediately.
Yeah. I can tell you, by the way, like her offer was genuine. Like, you know, down the road somewhere, she may have betrayed or whatever, but the La Sombra are kind of, well, my La Sombra are kind of weird. They're a mix of like very honorable and full of like pride in what they do and stuff, while at the same time being really fucked up and weird. So like Sheldon's a great example of that.
Yeah, I literally don't know Sheldon from like, I don't know, my cat. So it just, I don't trust him at all. At least with her, I would have given her life and I would have had her word, you know? So like to Nahari, I feel like she, especially because she's so not straight-laced, but like she's a little bit of a believer. She would have, like, I feel like that would have been enough for her to be like, okay, you can teach me.
Yeah.
But then Temsa did his thing.
Temsa's never gonna let her live.
Yeah.
which is why when I was like, aha, I am tempting you, I'm also like, oh bugger, I also have to kill you.
Yeah.
I have to kill this character.
Yeah.
Temps are scary, man.
Yeah. I'm like really glad, or not me, but Nahari's really glad he's alive, but she's also scared of him.
Yeah. Oh, a little sidebar for you. If you were alone, he would have given you a kiss on the forehead and left, like saying goodbye.
I
But
figured.
yeah, like that moment of hesitation was him wanting to be
Yeah.
brotherly, but there were people there, and he was like, no, and then just turned around and awkwardly left. Yeah, just a little bit of info for you there.
Yeah, it was really cool. The whole thing was like, I don't know why I'm surprised that I'm always surprised, GB. Like I shouldn't be, because it's always like this and it's always awesome. So thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
And finally, the murder hobo, Tash and also Chrys. Although
Chrys.
Tash isn't a murder hobo.
That you know of.
I mean,
Um.
you have a combat character who's barely fought, and yeah, only kills when it's absolutely necessary and there's no choice left. So
It was a bad time, poor Chris. She doesn't feel like she got much sympathy today. I'm just throwing that out there.
well, there's been multiple instances of, shall we say, dramatic overreaction. So I feel like when she's like, I put my fist through someone's face, okay? And everyone's like, okay, yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Right through their face.
Right through their face. Yeah. Yeah, that's not going well for her, actually.
You
So
could run away and join Nathan.
that is an option.
I mean,
We'll have
you've
to
got,
see.
You've gone in over there.
My girlfriend's there, so why not? We
Oh.
could go run around the city. Have a good time.
Leah has left. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
that was one person who I didn't mention, because you asked who was there. But
Who his?
Leah has scooted off. So
Fuck, it would have been cool for her to see that shit.
Man.
Oh well.
she has the attention span of a incontinent puppy. So
Mm.
But I've had a great time today.
well,
Yeah, Chris was like 11T stressed. So that's fine. It was nice to watch Nahari doing the dealings. I was like, no. I'm like, please, God, no. But obviously, it's fun to see when we all make our own dealings away from the group. So it's interesting to see how everyone reacts and how they would react if she came back and was like, by the way, kept one. I know you had to kill them, but I kept mine, so
I mean, I killed one. I
killed
just
the
kept
first
the other
one.
one.
I just, I wanted to.
I just need to use her for,
no.
Um,
But yeah, no, it's a good time.
Hmm.
Little just stressed for
Hmm.
Chris. So I've been thinking about how she's gonna work through the trauma. She wasn't gonna tell anyone, and then
she did.
she did, which I knew was gonna happen, let's
Yeah.
be honest. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to play those games. Thank you.
Why do people keep raiding me when I'm finishing? Hey,
Because
thank you.
it's
Hey.
nighttime.
Yeah.
Hello.
So the one piece of information that I haven't given you yet that I can is what the hell was in that basement.
Yeah, please.
So it started out with about 30 to 40 of those flesh creatures. Ages back. What there is now is one. You could call him like a flower almost. He's like just an amalgamation of flesh that has kind of taken root in the basement, and those tendrils, like every now and then it's the Hydra basically. It either hooks up to the other flesh creatures and like pumps blood into them, or drains them and kind of like grows a bit more and like So it's absorbed the majority of the flesh creatures that were made, and more were being made to basically. Yeah.
I wondered where they all
Ew.
were because we'd been told there was a horde, and I'm like, this seems like a suspiciously small amount.
Yeah, it was a horde a long time ago. And like but the unfortunate thing is it's no less because that thing is in a cage basically. The Hydra. Which is why it didn't, like, you could hear the sloops, but it didn't kind of come at you or anything. It was based, like, they're all basically on autopilot with a few base commands, like, looping. Anyone unfamiliar or who hasn't been, like, cleared basically gets target, and it's basically, like, move towards, try to kill, and that's all they have. Very simplistic. So yeah, it had 10 for its physical dice. So like in terms of hitting and stuff like that, it was rolling on a 10 with like, I think it had like +2 to its damage and +2 to its like brawl rolls or something fucking ridiculous. It was scary.
We were gonna die so hard.
Not me. I'm partying. Fuck that.
Well, if it had been let
This
out,
is why fire.
then
Fire is a perfect solution.
fire is legitimately the only way to kill them. Pretty much, like as you saw when you were stabbing it in the brain, it's like that. Unless you like hack up the flesh, it just keeps. Or like the really interesting thing was Alec, like. Dude, stroke of genius, like extinguishing the Vitae.
Yeah, well, he got lucky with that because he was just thinking, right, well, I'll do that and make them so hungry they might eat each other, and it was pure luck. But
yeah, no, it's they like these ones in the sheepified version. It just makes sense to me that they run off blood.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
I did have the thought of maybe if you put a bit of your blood in them afterwards. I mean, it's not something Alec would do, but I was like, huh.
I mean, it's possible that another Simiche could like, you know, go and control them or whatever. But
fair. But Alec's a Tremere, so
yeah.
As we saw today.
Is he though? Everyone squints at Hydra like.
He did blood magic. What more do you want?
He did have blood magic. But then again, Nahari can fuck with shadows.
Yeah.
And how okay. I want before we finish up, Tess Aquila, I want the honest truth from you. How much of a percentage was the temptation to just get those cool ass eyes? Like what was how much of the I want to be able to do that with the eyes and everything was?
I honestly wasn't even thinking about it because like it was very cool, but I think Nahari, like in my head Nahari was like, I need control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
like
makes
I
sense.
super need control. So it didn't even occur to me at the time, but now I'm like, fuck, I could have had that.
So, yeah, just the other bit of information for Xiomara. It's a good thing you didn't fight, because she has Potence and Oblivion.
Yeah.
Which basically means she just sits there and her tendrils do all the fighting, and they hit quite hard.
Yeah.
But
I have a question, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so how come she could still see me?
She has Oblivion Sight, which lets you see in the dark and see hidden things and ghosts and stuff as well.
Ghosts?
So you started to, and she just.
Yeah. Because like my initial plan was like just vanish and do the same thing, like get up behind her and kill her. My like thing, or Nahari's thing. But yeah, when that didn't work, I was like, all right, maybe I can talk her into letting her guard down or something. And then she said something interesting, and I was like, well.
And then it was enough for you to be like, okay, we'll take her prisoner and see what everyone else says. And then Big Brother was like, nah, fam, she broke the rules. I'm a killer, but I'm gonna have a sip first.
Yeah, I totally thought he diablerized her so that we would both have the powers.
No,
First.
It's not that he wouldn't. It's that part of the training in the Hashen is, you know, to not. Nahari's an exception because she's an infiltrator already. And they were like, when Nahari joined the Hashen, she was already going to become a ministry, Kindred, you know, so you wouldn't be Banu Hakim in clan, only in like spirit, I guess.
Yeah.
So they were like, what else can we do to give her an edge and to, so like they had La Sombra they were going to execute. They were like, fuck it, Nahari will feed. And so incidentally, I don't think we've been like deep into that, but that's how Nahari got her Oblivion powers, is when she joined the Hashen, they were like, here is someone who broke our rules and deserves punishment. So you will diablerize him.
What are the rules?
You're not a member of the Hashen, you're not allowed to know.
God damn it. Don't be a shadow.
It's mostly along the lines of like avoiding corruption and like, okay, everything that the blessed are is everything that the Hashen is against, basically. So excessiveness and you know, like
Being a
Don't hang
dick.
out with the Hashen, Tess.
it's funny because they're very like anti-cult and anti, you know, and they're a little bit of a cult themselves in a weird way. So you know, it's interesting. Anywho, everyone's done a great job, and I don't want to keep them for another 2 hours because we could just carry on chatting forever.
It's so good.
Those of you on YouTube, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If any of you watched the last episode and didn't see the credit sequence, the post-credit sequence, I guess we'll call it, you may want to go back and check that out because it's interesting. Links in the description for everyone here. Go give them a look. Go give them some love, follows, and they all do their own streams. Even those of them who are very, very spotty with it, not looking at anyone in particular who's trying to hide outside of frame. But that counts for me
Couldn't
too.
be me.
And yeah, we will see you next week where we will find out how exactly everything in the city is going to run.
I won't be here next week, but you guys will.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.